What's going on? Welcome to another video. I'm doing another interview video. This time with my dude Cam. He is a GM in PROREC as well, and we tried to keep this conversation as far away from being strictly PROREC as possible. Talk about a number of things. It's a cool conversation. Talk about what we think PROREC could do better. What we think is wrong right now. Then we talk about hoops. We talk about a little bit of everything. So sit back, relax, and take a listen. Without further ado, here we go. All right, so so like I said before, this is not none of these, and there's gonna be. This is the second installment of this little like YouTube video podcast thing. But what I'm gonna do with it is, as I'm gonna record, like, obviously we did Jalen, we got you on here now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get to the point where I get like 4 or 5 of them done, and then so slowly right now I'm just gonna let them go on YouTube. But when I get like 4 or 5 of them done, I'm gonna like make it so that like I'm well in front of the curve, and I'm gonna just release them as podcasts too, so that like you don't have to listen to them, watch them on YouTube. You know what I mean? That way, like I can set a schedule. Like, hey, I'm gonna release one every two. If I release one every 2 weeks, that means I have 10 weeks of content already. And then I can, if it takes me 10 weeks to find somebody else to do something with, then it's like that. But all right, so first off, let's let me get your background history a little bit.
I know you've never heard this story before, but yeah,
it's wild, dude. I feel like deja vu.
yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's crazy. No, Cam Hempfield, I'm from Shaker Heights High School up in Cleveland, Ohio. Graduated there in 2016. Went to Heidelberg University from 2017 through 2018, whatever the second semester in that sophomore year was, like 2018, early 2019.
It would have been
It was fall of 2018. I left.
Yeah.
I was there for 3 semesters at Heidelberg, and then I went to Bowling Green, graduated from there.
What's your degree in?
Now I'm back. What was it?
What's your degree in? Business?
Human development and family studies from Bowling Green. So like a high school guidance counselor, therapist, things along those lines.
Yeah. Did you ever think about pursuing that?
Honestly, no, not really. At least not for the foreseeable future. I only went to college for sports. Honestly, I was never a big school guy, and after I was done with football, my parents were kind of like, "Well, finish it up."
Yeah,
and then
you're halfway done. You might as well fucking do the rest.
Yeah, it sounds so dumb saying it out loud, man. But if my parents didn't make me finish, I wouldn't have, because I just genuinely hate everything about school. At least I did college. Real estate school is something that I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, it's different when you're like going to school for something like that, and it's something you like actually like, or like like to learn
totally
about.
Different, 100%.
Or know that has the potential to be like basically be your career. It's a little different.
Yeah. Exactly.
Instead of like people going to business school, like go getting their undergrad in business, to where like that literally doesn't really do anything with you besides the fact that you have a bachelor's in business. You can do
exactly. It's kind of cool to put on
your
resume.
We were at Heidelberg together for a year that we didn't know about because I didn't know you back then. But yeah,
I was cool enough to be friends with Gage back then.
Bro, I didn't. You know how many friends?
I don't remember you, man.
You know how many friends I had in school, in college?
4.
I talked to 2 people.
4 or 5. 2. There you go.
One of them I don't talk to anymore, and one of them I talk to a lot.
There you go. What happened with the one you don't talk to anymore? Just fell out.
No, he just. I mean, it was just nothing happened. He became a GA, and like he's like, I think he lives in New Orleans now, and like somewhere.
Yeah, that's over with.
Yeah, no. My other friend lives in Cincinnati, so. All right, but like I said, not PROREC podcast, so we'll say PROREC topics for the end. First off, let me have your teams. What teams do you root for? Like professional.
We talking pro sports?
Yeah. Now I'll talk about pro sports.
I thought you were talking college or whatever, but yeah.
No. Give me those 2. Give me all of them.
Diehard. I'm born and raised in Cleveland, man. Diehard Browns, diehard Cavs.
Yeah, I figured that one was coming.
I guess the Guardians. We got to call them now.
Yeah,
I want your video to get flagged on there. But
I think this next episode, next season, I think is when they change, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, now it's officially changed. They had to wait till the end of last season. But yeah,
Did
so
you wait? Speaking of that, did
Browns
you see the
have.
Washington football team finally announced
Oh,
their
bro,
name?
I love those jerseys. I was just texting my
The
buddy
jerseys
about
are
that.
dope, but like you spent 2 years and you couldn't come up with a better logo than that.
Yeah, I didn't even see what the logo
It's
was.
not.
I
It's
thought it was
not
still
like a
purple.
logo. It's like
It's just a black C, isn't it?
let me see. Washington. I mean, the the name makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Some people hating on the name, and it just the name is the best part about it. I think.
It's a block. First off, it's the one logo is a block W, and then the other one is like a crest. Like I don't know if you can really see it.
Oh yeah, is that the logo?
I think so. They don't have like a commander. Like there should be like they could have went super cool with like the logo part of it, and they just decided to say like no. Oh, now sorry, this is off topic, but now I looked over on the other screen and saw like the GoPro camera, and it is a fuck ton darker with the GoPro than it is with with my actual camera. So that's why you said it was so dark.
Yeah, yeah. It's like pitch black behind you.
Yeah, the GoPro has a worse sensor than my big ass camera that I use for a webcam. But yeah, so Cleveland. What college team do you like? Do you like the same college team for all sports, or do you change it up?
See, that's why I was thinking on that a little bit. Football, I love Buckeyes. Basketball, I cheer for the Buckeyes, but I really could care less. My college basketball team is actually West Virginia. Love West Virginia.
That's nice. That's not a lot of people like say that their favorite like team is West Virginia basketball wise, but I like watching them play.
You
What else
said
we
you
got?
did like them when you played?
No, I like watching them play. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exciting team. Most of my family's from there, and every kid growing up has high school or college hoop dreams, and that's where I wanted to play at. So, big West Virginia guy.
Hey man, it happens. That I mean, it makes sense. It's not like it's something crazy.
Yeah, no, no, no.
What else we got?
I actually don't know your college teams.
My college team. So, since high school, I've been a big Duke basketball fan. But like,
Yeah.
as I've gotten older, I've kind of stopped watching college basketball,
Mhm.
and I watch more NBA basketball now. And I don't know if it's like, and I think it's because I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I don't remember who it was. I think as I've grown up and like aged, I've looked at like yeah, college basketball is like more fun to watch, and like you would say that they're playing because they love the game, but like
Mhm.
the X's and O's and shit of NBA basketball is like so much more fun to watch. Like you look like an average person watching the Warriors play is just like, oh, Steph just runs around all the time. Like no, these like he this is they run these are plays that they're running, so Steph can do all this fucking nonsense that he does. You know what I mean? Um,
Oh yeah.
it's just I look at it. I kind of watch basketball differently than I did. Like obviously, if I'm watching the Suns, I'm rooting for the Suns to win. But like if I'm just watching basketball, I'm like, yeah, I'm just watching. Not watching the game. I'm watching like the offensive sets and like how like the defensive stuff, like what coverages they're in and ball screens and stuff like that. Because like obviously like I wanna. I think I'm pretty well versed in like basketball IQ and knowing that kind of stuff. And I want to coach. I want to like be a head coach at some point, which my job makes it kind of hard to do. But um, I'm figuring that out. But so like I like watching that part of it because you can take little bits and pieces from everything and learn like why are they running this if it doesn't seem like it's working. Oh, because there's six options they have off of it that leads to something else. But yeah, so I'm a Duke basketball fan. I don't follow them as much as I used to. I follow the Suns like fucking crazy. That's all I really do is look for that stuff.
Yeah, I see that all over your Twitter. So
Dude,
that's a good team to like, though, man.
hey man, it wasn't a good team to like 3 years ago. That's for goddamn sure.
You see, but I respect the fact that you still liked them 3 years ago, though. That
I,
makes it easier to accept that you're a fan now.
everyone always asks me like why am I such a like me being a Devin Booker fan makes almost no sense because of where he went to college. Like I like
Yeah, that is.
being a Duke fan and then like he went to Kentucky. Like you would think that like I don't know. I just like just the way he plays like resonates with me. But yeah, so I don't have a football team. I don't have an NFL team. Bree just told me that she grew like the other day grew up a Bengals fan, which is weird that she never told me that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
No. Like she didn't even know they were playing.
Oh,
She
really?
was at the Walleye game on was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. And she texted me. She's like, everyone in here just went fucking nuts, and I don't know why. And I was like, what do you mean? Like they're all going crazy. They're like they pulled like the jumbotron showed like a game on the TV on it, and I was like, it's because the Bengals just won. Like they're going to the Super Bowl. And she's like,
How do you
really?
grow up a Bengals? How do you grow up a Bengals fan? And you're that
And
out of touch with
she
it.
was like, really? I was like, yeah. And she was like, I used to watch the Bengals with my uncle every single Sunday. And I was like, you're a fucking like you grew up a Bengals fan and you don't like
Yeah.
what?
You got to go get a Joe Shiesty jersey
That's
now.
what I said. I said, well, I'm gonna adopt your fandom. I'm about to be a Bengals fan too. No, Joey B's the truth, dog. That
Oh,
shit.
I should have put his jersey on for this podcast, man.
You got
He's
one?
different. Yeah, it's I got his LSU jersey.
Oh, okay.
It's the senior night with the EAUX at the end. It's so tough. But yeah, Joe Burrow's that guy, man.
Yeah. No, he's it's a fun thing to watch, team to watch. But yeah, no, one of my friend that I was talking about that I still talk to from Heidelberg, like she cried when the Bengals won.
It's just
But she's
I didn't
born.
think I'd see it.
She's
I didn't
born
think
and
I'd see it in
raised.
my
She's
lifetime.
born and raised in Cincinnati. So like she after we graduated, she went back to Cincinnati. So yeah, I don't really watch anything else. Baseball is the Mets, which is dude. I just for some reason, man, the teams that I like the past years have just sucked ass. Besides the Suns.
You're telling me, man. You're telling me.
What do you mean? I mean, the Browns were on the way up, but they're back kind of down now.
Yeah, Browns and Cavs have been. I guess, but when LeBron has been here, it's been different. But without LeBron, sports in Cleveland has been. Except, I guess the Cavs are
Getting
Cavs
they're
are
better.
exciting now.
Yeah.
The
So
Browns are just
yeah, the Browns are literally a literal roller coaster.
they're hopeless again, man. I expect nothing from them, and I'm still disappointed every year.
No, it happens. That's one of the things. Like when I was trying to figure out like what team I wanted to like in the NFL, I was like, well, I can't. This was when the Brown like the middle of like when the Browns like were like 6-1 or something. I was like, I can't be a Browns fan because all my friends that are Browns fans are gonna be like, oh, you only like the Browns now because we're 6-1, bitch.
Yeah.
No. I don't have a team. Who do you want? Like, I don't watch football on Sunday because I don't know who to watch. Like, I don't like anyone. So, like, well, who am I gonna watch? But yeah. With that being said, who's winning the Super Bowl? When is the Super Bowl? Is it Monday?
Well, it's February 13th. So the
So-
Pro Bowl is this Sunday, and then the Super Bowl is the next Sunday.
Okay. Is the Super Bowl on a Sunday? Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday.
It is, yeah.
I'm gonna mess
Super Bowl
up.
Sunday, man. Come on.
I got it. Who's winning?
I don't know, man. I've picked against the Bengals every single round, and every single round, Joe Burrow is giving me a big fuck you to the face. But I gotta say the Rams, bro.
That's a lot of firepower, dude.
What with the Rams?
Yeah.
Oh, completely. And they were loaded before they went out and got Von Miller and Odell. And I mean, the Rams have the better team all across the roster, but the Bengals have Joe Burrow, so it's hard to pick a team.
And
I'll be happy if either one wins.
And Jamar Chase, right? That's his name.
And Jamar Chase, yeah.
Yeah, he's a dog.
He's different. But yeah, I literally said at the start of the playoffs, if the Rams and Bengals make the Super Bowl, like it'll be the most fun Super Bowl I've ever seen. Because I cheer for players more so than teams in the NFL.
That's kind of how I am in the NFL. Like I like players.
And like Odell has been my favorite player in the league since LSU days because I've always been an LSU football fan. Joe Burrow obviously is just very easy to like and cheer for. So, but if I had to bet money, I'd go with him.
Bro, when I saw the meme of him wearing them fucking glasses in that post game
interview,
that was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
That guy fucks for sure.
No, absolutely. Changing sports. Who's winning the NBA finals? What do you think? All right, let's start with this. Who do you think is going to be the conference championship games?
Conference championship. I think you're crazy if you say anybody but Phoenix and Golden State in the West.
I think that one's almost a lock.
Mm-hmm. And then the East is a little bit different. I'm biased in the East, so my bias
there's the top 6 are like within a game of each other for the 1 seed.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like
it's gonna be the Bucks and someone.
Yeah, Bucks and someone for sure. I'm biased, so my bias pick is the Cavs and the Bucks.
Bucks Cavs would be an interesting Eastern Conference Finals.
That'd be nice because we have the size to compete with Giannis and how big they are. But obviously, Cavs might not go that deep their first year, so probably Bucks. And I think I want to see the Sixers come out, man. They've been flirting with it for the last
They
few
have. They
seasons,
need to.
and
So
Embiid's playing crazy right now.
I've seen a couple things. They need to, if they want, they're wasting like one, if they don't make a trade with to get rid of Ben Simmons, they're wasting one of Joel Embiid's like prime years because they don't want to move Simmons, and he is hooping, dude.
Embiid.
Yeah, he is hooping.
Yeah, he's averaging like 38 in his last 10 games. Dude's going. What's your thoughts on this Ben Simmons deal, man? I think I don't get why they think he's worth an arm and a leg.
Because they pay him that much. You know what I mean? And I don't know how long his contract is. I don't know the whole details on it because I don't like the Sixers. But well, it's because like people are offering him pretty good deals for him, and they're telling him no because they think he's worth more than that. But like he might as a player be worth more than that, but he ain't played yet, dude, because he don't want to be there. Like, what do you mean? Like, get rid of him. I don't like.
I think it's like if you don't trade him and you keep him all season, then that's a bad trade in itself because you just don't have anybody.
Yeah, no.
Like you said, you're wasting Embiid's year. Bare minimum, you can get a couple role players who can help the Sixers
or some picks, and you'll free up cap space to get a free agent because his contract is bigger than anything you're getting back. But yeah,
I just refuse to believe you can't get like one really solid starter and some role players and draft picks for him.
Dude,
like
you could get any other point guard and probably be fine.
Yeah, 100%. I think they could go slide CJ McCollum from the Blazers because I heard he's on his way out. Him some role players, draft picks.
Yeah, it's because the Blazers don't do shit to make the team better. I'm surprised Lillard's still there.
I saw something that said Lillard's going to sign like $100 million contract extension with him.
Yeah, I saw that. He did say he's never leaving though. He's not chasing rings, which at the same point,
he's built different.
It's not chasing rings when you want to win, dude. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Like if you've been at an organization for 10 years that they haven't been doing things to get better. At that point, is it really like chasing rings to go sign somewhere else, or is it like putting yourself in a better situation?
I think he's just got a real old school mentality and doesn't want to be kind of grouped in with these other guys who form these super teams and then still don't get a ring. It's a lot more respectable, I think, if he doesn't get one, if he stays with Portland versus like James Harden going to Brooklyn and now he still doesn't have one. And he had Kyrie Irving and KD and Marcus Aldridge.
He don't like playing for the Nets. Did you see all that shit?
Harden? Yeah, I did. I hate James Harden is my least favorite NBA superstar, man. I hate James Harden.
He might be one of the best scorers of all time, though.
He is. Oh yeah, can't deny that. I respect the hell out of his game, but
so who do you think? I think we're getting a repeat finals. I think it's gonna be Suns Bucks.
The Warriors and Suns are gonna be the NBA finals, man. That Western Conference Finals is gonna be it.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
I'm not sure who the Warriors are with Klay Thompson back yet. I don't know if they're as dangerous as they were before. They just kind of
they played well the other day against, but I think it was against. I mean, they won on like not like a last second shot, but it was like some clutch buckets. But I think it was like against the Rockets, which.
Yeah, it was. Klay had to hit a big three late in that, and that's what's like. Okay, if you're struggling against the Rockets team, like, how are you gonna do against?
I mean, they do have a lot of injuries, but. I'm sick of that narrative because you should look at the Suns injury report. It's just the same, bro. Like,
but man, I'm kind of a bandwagon Suns fan, bro. Like I love watching the Suns play.
Dude, it's a fun brand of basketball to watch. It's like it's like and it's fun to watch Book be probably the best first quarter basketball player in the NBA, dude. That dude averages like 19 in the first quarter.
Nobody plays like Devin Booker except for Chris Paul. Like in terms of
they play the same like mid-range-esque game.
And you don't get that anywhere else in the league. And those two guys just absolutely master it, man. So they're fun to watch.
Yeah, no. When I went to the Suns Pistons game, it was fun to watch. And I mean, none of them played the fourth quarter. But like D Book had like 22 in the first quarter. He was 11 for 12 in the first quarter with 22.
Yeah, he's unbelievable,
Even
man.
like last night against the Nets, he started 6 for 6 with 17 in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so technically sound too. Like his movements, his jump shot, his base, it's always exactly the same for mid-range.
It's gorgeous, bro. It's gorgeous. So yeah,
I love
who's
watching him.
who's winning the MVP in the NBA? It'll probably be like Giannis or something again, probably Giannis or
I hate that too.
or Jokic.
I hate when the same guy wins multiple times within 2 to 3 years. But right now probably it's got to be Giannis. He's playing unreal right now. But I hate how dependent the MVP is on the stats.
Yeah.
I don't think stats are everything, especially not in the NBA, especially not for the MVP. MVP is take this player off the team, and this team is horrible.
Yeah.
It's a completely different team.
Yeah. I agree.
But,
I think it has to be a little bit of a mix of both because like you can't have an MVP from a team that's not making the playoffs.
Oh yeah, definitely not. But
or even like a bottom. I think team record like should play an account as well because like if you're telling me that like this is an example. So say we got the first seed in the conference and the 6th seed. Stats are almost identical, but the guy that plays for the 6th seed, his like say he averages like 2 points a game more, a rebound more, and like half an assist more. He's probably gonna get it because of stats, even though his team is the 6th seed and the other guy's team is the 1 seed, playing. I mean, locking up the one like that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not a big fan of the way the NBA does MVP voting. I mean, MVP voting is all media, I believe, but like I am not a big fan of the way the All-Star game is ran. But that's something we don't even need to get into because that shit pisses me off. Best record in the NBA has no All-Star starters. Explain that to me,
bro. It's a boring brand. Not a boring. Unless you know basketball, the Suns basketball is a boring brand of basketball, and this media is so hyped up on Curry jacking up logo threes and Ja Morant's dunks,
or the fucking Lakers being 23 and 27.
23 and 27.
Like, why are they ever like? I understand they're the Lakers. Why are their games right now should not be nationally televised? Like, why is it hard? Why is it almost impossible for me to watch a Suns game and they're 41 and 9?
That's the mainstream media for you, man. It's horrible.
I mean, I could watch last night because it was against the Nets, so it was on TNT. But if it's not like if they don't play a high market like big market team, it's not televised.
I actually have a site that I'll send you when we hop off of this. You can watch any game, any Suns game, no matter who they play. I've been using that to watch a lot of the.
One of my friends has sent me one too, but send me the one you have. Maybe it'll work better than the one I have. But like,
yeah, the one I use works perfect. I watch everything with that.
Yeah, but like there's ways to watch the games, obviously, but like
it shouldn't be that.
I want to watch the shit on my TV in my living room, not my fucking laptop or my computer or like my phone. Like it's, but yeah.
Back to the MVP race real quick though. Fucking DeMar DeRozan needs to be top 2. No matter who wins, DeRozan should be up there. They're first in the East. He's averaging like 27, 6 and 6. He's having a year, bro.
I think it's wild that Devin Booker isn't even on the MVP ladder.
He's not on it. What are his stats this year? See, I haven't heard anything about Devin Booker all year other than me watching him play.
Like 20. I mean, he just had 33 last night.
Oh yeah, he's same stats as DeRozan, except 1 less assist.
Yeah.
And a couple less points.
And on the best
and
team
he has 9 losses on the season.
Yeah. With the best team in the league right now. Yeah. So I'm gonna change a little bit. I got a couple more random ass questions before we hit some PROREC stuff, just to appease the people that'll watch this because they're PROREC people.
All good.
This is a complete change. No sports. What are your not even like your favorite albums to listen to, but like your top, like what what 5 albums like do you play all the time right now? Like not your favorite of all time, but like what do you listen to? If you were getting in your car and had to drive 4 hours, what 5 albums would you listen to?
I absolutely love this question because my music taste always throws people off, man. I'm not gonna say albums. I'll say like
Give me
artists
or give me
because
artists. Yeah, yeah. Because
yeah, because
I
I
mean,
go by like
if I would have given you a little bit of time with like a time, I would have expected you to give me 5 albums. But like, if I'm just giving you like, who are you gonna listen to on a road trip? That's the five people you're gonna listen to on a road trip. Let me know
yeah,
those.
road trip. I'm coming from Cleveland to wherever. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I love the Fray. The Fray like
I'm a
gets me going, bro.
dude. That's a surprise, but I'm down with it.
Yeah, the Fray is amazing. I love country music. Jason Aldean and Morgan Wallen are a couple of my favorites.
You love country music? I was not
I
expecting that.
love country music. My the Apple Replay thing, my top artists, my top three were country. 4 and 5 were like Drake and Lil Baby, and then 6 was the Fray. Like it's just all over the place,
That's
bro.
wild, dude.
But yeah, the Fray, Jason Aldean, Morgan Wallen, and then a whole lot of Lil Baby in there for when I'm getting ready to hoop,
You got one more.
trying to feel ghetto, you know. And
Give me
then
one more.
Drake,
Drake.
gotta go with Drake.
You gotta go with it.
Light skin king.
That's a very like um that's surprising. I was not expecting that, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
that's a lot, and I love having that conversation because people never know. But that's kind of the best part about growing up with interracial parents. I really got the best of both worlds growing up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
No, 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 no. That's that, dude. That's it. Just I think a lot of times too, like my music. I mean, because I listen to this. Like my top five wouldn't be like that right now. My five probably changed. Well, not my five. I would say 3 of the 5 artists I listen to all the time like rotate. The other 2 I just listen to all the time, no matter what.
so what's the 5 right
What's
now?
my 5 right now? Well, one's Mac Miller. Mac Miller's always on my. Bree gets pissed at me because that's like all I listen to 90% of the time. But right now, oh shit, what have I been listening to? So I listen to Mike Stud. Well, it's just Mike now or whatever it is. I
Just
listen to
Mike
him.
now, yeah.
Yeah, I listen. I listen. It's hard to like you say, just like you say, it's because it's just Mike is what like the artist profile is. So like if you don't listen to him, you don't know who Mike is, but you probably know who Mike Stud is.
Yeah.
His latest album is probably one of my favorite. Is one of my top 5 albums that I listen to all the time.
Yeah, he's got good vibes for sure.
I listen to Russ a lot as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I listen to this dude that I found on TikTok. His name's Nick D.
Oh, is that that's the dude with the long
he had
hair?
long hair. It's short now, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've heard him on TikTok. He's solid too.
And then the 5th one would be. It's tough. I don't even really know 5th. Who do I listen to the most? I also listen to a lot of podcasts. So like I haven't listened to music in a couple days.
What are some podcasts you listen to?
I listen to The Old Man and the Three, which is JJ Redick's podcast. I listen to Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. Hold on, let me pull it up. I listen to it's called The Freddie Show, but it's that Nick D dude's podcast. I listen to Mike Stud's podcast. And then that's about it. Those usually get me through my commutes to work during the week.
Mhm.
But who would the 5th artist be?
Yeah, those other artists you named are all kind of same style of music.
Yeah. So like when I go through like I'll go through like stages of what I listen to. So like I'll listen to five artists that basically make the same like not the same, but like it's got the same vibes. Like I would probably say that it would have to go number 5 would probably be Morgan Wallen. That ends up on my like shuffle shit a lot as well.
Yeah.
Because I usually just go on Apple Music because I mean it's significant how much I listen to the artist I listen to, and I'll just hit like the For You and just hit shuffle and it'll play the artist.
And it looks out for you. Yeah.
So I mean,
That's the bad thing about having diverse music taste. If I do that, it's all over the world.
bro,
So I
like,
gotta slow it down.
it also depends too, like the season. Like if it's the summer, dude, I'm not hitting that just for you thing because I don't know what's popping up because I listen to so much different stuff when it comes to the summertime. Like it's gonna be, but like right now, it's hard because I only listen to music. Like the only time I listen to music right now is like on Sundays on the way to PROREC. That's the only time I play music. Any other time right now, I have podcasts playing in my car because I drive 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to work. So to work and back is like most of the time half an episode of a podcast. So I got 6 days worth of podcast listening and 6 podcasts to listen to.
Right.
But yeah, if you haven't listened to JJ Redick's podcast, The Old Man and the Three, you should try that. That's a good one. They just had an episode.
Yeah,
with
I was
Draymond.
intrigued by that when you said it. I've seen some clips of it on like Instagram and stuff, but I've never heard it. I'll have to check that out for sure.
Oh, it's good. It's good. The conversation with they just had with Draymond Green was really really good. And they're supposed to. I think the episode this week, it might have come out today, is with Chris Paul. So.
Okay, yeah, those are two basketball.
It's heavy on basketball related stuff when there's basketball guests. If it's not a basketball guest, it's not like it's completely different. It's not really set in basketball. It depends whatever that guest is. But yeah, let's switch gears. We'll have a little I'll add a little edit point here for everyone that wants it, but let's go to the PROREC side of things just because it's kind of we're in the finals and stuff like that. So we'll see what your take on some PROREC stuff is. So right now, who do you think if you were to make like the all PROREC team, who would be on it? I know it's kind of hard because like we don't see the other conferences play.
See, and I know they're doing like awards by conferences individually. So are we doing the whole PROREC or
Yeah. Go all PROREC. No, go all PROREC. Go off what you know. Don't go off like. Don't be like, oh, I have to add people from the other conference to appease Gage.
Yeah.
So like, give me
a few guys. I'm not gonna do it by position. I'm just gonna say the 5 best guys.
Yeah.
In my mind, got to be Mike Bennett, Gage Beaver. Got to throw name Scruggs, Tony Scruggs from the Ducks on there. Probably my guy Jevin Dybel on there as well. He went off this season. He had a 30-point triple-double game, a lot of 30 balls. So Jevin Dybel, and I'm trying to think. I know somebody else really went off this season.
I don't know, man.
Oh, you probably have to throw Damo Dunn on there too. I know he had a really good season. He averaged like 27 a game. I didn't watch him play too much, and it's just from me playing with him in the past and seeing his stats, knowing that he can hoop.
He had his stats are, and this isn't a slight at him. They're slightly inflated from the 50 ball he put on us when there was only 4 of them. So
okay, because I know Damo's.
He also went like 13 of 15
points.
from 3.
Yeah, he's the guy who can give you like 3 to 6 points on 20% shooting, or obviously he can light it up for 50.
Oh no, dude, he didn't miss and he wasn't shooting unguarded threes. He was shooting like hand in face, like I have to pull this because there's 3 other guys on my team right now and we're playing and everything was going in.
Yeah, so my all PROREC total team will be you, Mike, Jevin Dybel, Damo Dunn, and Tony Scruggs.
I'm excited to play Scruggs.
He's a different beast, man. I know we talked about him a little bit, but you'll see. Have you played him ever before? Yeah, he's wild, bro.
That Ducks team is kind of stacked. I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous because I think our problem. So I guess we'll switch to like the finals part of the PROREC. I think our problem, if it gets out of hand, is going to be that we're not shooting well. Because it's hard to like designate who on the Ducks is going to go off because they all like none of them average above 20, but they all get 15 every like Their averages are exactly what they're going to give you almost. Like they're going to give you 15, 12, 13, 11. Like they're all going to, and they're going to look up and the scoreboard's going to be like 80 to 55. And you're going to be like, what the fuck just happened? But,
to beat the Ducks, pretty much you got to guarantee yourself you're going to have to score 80 points. You're going to have to do that at least,
Which I mean, we are more than capable of doing. We have we have 3 people that I think can get 30 if they try whatever they try. So
I think having Josh Grissom is a big help for you too, because he's the perfect guy to throw out there and be like, you gotta play tough with these dudes.
I'm gonna throw some love to Albert Ali too, dude. That dude has been hooping the past couple weeks.
The lefty, right?
Mm-hmm. He is.
Yeah.
So like when I drafted him, I drafted him based on like I knew he was offensively, like he could shoot. If he got open 3, he's gonna knock it down. But playing with him, that dude, he might be the leading rebounder on our team. He gets like 4 to 6 offensive rebounds a game.
Yeah, he's great. And
then you pair that with Josh, who also gets 4 to, I would say, anywhere from 4 to 10 offensive rebounds a game. Like if we miss a 3, there's like a 40% chance we're grabbing that rebound and probably gonna shoot another one. But like it's also different for us because we playing in Van Buren, it's like it doesn't seem like it would be that different, but like it's crazy different from going from Perrysburg, the community center, to fucking Van Buren.
Oh yeah, just from our one game we played,
bro,
at your Perrysburg gym, that you guys should be getting paid to play there, man. That's a rough gym.
So that being said, are you putting your money on the Ducks to win the finals?
No. I'm not putting on.
If you had to put money on a team, what team would you put money on?
Oh, if I had to put money on it,
I'm not gonna be offended by whatever you say.
I think if anybody has a chance of beating them, it was probably the Swift. And I don't know if you watched that game. The Swift should have beat the Ducks.
I just watched it. I watched it before I recorded this. Before we're doing
like watching it towards the end hurt because I'm like, these guys, if they didn't jack up threes, if 25 on the Swift didn't come in and give up a turnover and a 4-point play back to back, the Swift probably win that game by 6 or 7. So I mean, the Ducks are beatable, and you having those 2 guys, Albert Ali and Josh Grissom, who's not afraid to put their nose in there and go grab those offensive rebounds and play gritty. If you, Schmeltz, and Flipsy are scoring like you all should and all can, you have a chance to run away with it. You really do.
I think the one thing that gives us help too is we don't I feel like all the teams in your guys' conference play almost the same way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you play quick to an extent, but like I feel like there's a lot of turnovers in your guys' games.
There are a whole lot of turnovers.
We had 2 turnovers last week as a team.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys play smart ball,
and we play fast. Like we play just as. I mean, it's different because we're not used to playing. Like Van Buren court's a little bit longer. I'd say it's probably 10, 15 feet longer. But like we play fast, but we also take care of the ball. So like a lot of times you see your guys like a couple of those games like they'll get 10 fast break points where like it's just a wide open layup because they turn the ball over in the front court. And I'm not saying we don't ever turn the ball over, but like a lot of times if we turn the ball over, it's a lot of times like a dead ball turnover. Like it'll be a bad pass that goes out of bounds instead of a bad pass that goes to the other team who goes and shoots a layup. So I think that kind of helps us a little bit because I think we do a very good job in controlling like the pace as well because we have 4 people that can bring the ball up, and handle the ball at all times. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. It'll probably be one of the funnest PROREC games that I'll play in, unless we end up getting our ass beat, then it won't be very fun. But,
actually, I think both of you guys have a chance to potentially blow each other out, though.
It depends. It depends how. Like, I think it's going to depend whose pace it gets to and stays at. Because like we like to play fast, but as we've like played this session with what we got, once we start playing fast and once we get up, we don't play fast anymore. Like we'll come down and we'll get a high percentage efficient shot compared to like the first one we get. You know what I mean? There's been times I know I've passed up shots that I would normally take that I'm like, why? I can get this anytime I want in our possession. So I'm not gonna take it now. I'm gonna wait till I can shoot a layup.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I mean that's smart, but I think with those old men, you kind of gotta
yeah, no, it's a bunch of
hire them
it's a
out.
bunch of older dudes. So they so like I think you got like most of the teams in your conference who are younger guys who are just like, let's go hoop, let's just want to
Yeah,
hoop. And then you got them, and why they're so successful is because in your conference is because they play similar to us because they're older and they're like, okay, we don't need to like we can score 80 points and not have 60 possessions. We can score 80 points on 45 possessions instead of you trying to get 60. And I think that's kind of what we do. So like it's going to be interesting. I think our styles are very, very similar in how we play. Um,
mm,
I think they have a little bit. I think they have the ability to score at more positions than we do. Um, at a high clip. I mean Josh can score when like he gets offensive rebound and puts it back up. But I don't think like back to the basket. Josh is one of the better bigs in the game. You know what I mean? He's good. He's very good. He's very good at like screen and rolls and like getting in the lane, shooting layup, like catching it like around the rim where he can shoot a layup, and then if he misses it, he'll just grab his rebound and put that bitch back in, or grab an offensive rebound. But he's not like I wouldn't throw him a ball in the post.
and be like,
Like,
go get a bucket,
yeah, go
or
get a
just
like you. I'll throw it. We'll throw him in the post, and we'll run action off of his like post feed. That could free him up. But like when we throw it into him, our goal is to cut off of that, and then hopefully either get help on the cut so that Josh can just drop step and shoot a layup, or the help doesn't come and we just shoot a left hand layup or something with it. Um, but yeah, and then we got shooters, we got stuff, we got. I think it'll be a very, very, very fun game to play, and I think it'll be a very, very fun game to watch. I'm not sure what the time's gonna look like because we played. I guess you guys were playing quarters in the playoffs.
yeah, and it was kind of like it wasn't planned at all. Like
Well,
probably 3 minutes.
Gunner said that Mike told him that you guys were playing quarters in the playoffs.
See, so he must have told Gunner that beforehand because me and Mike's game in the first round was the first game of the playoffs, and like 3 minutes before the game, he came up to me and was like, "Hey, you cool if we you want to do halves or you want to do quarters?" I was like, you mean quarter? Because I figured quarters will make it a longer game. So I was like, I mean, we could just do quarters and stop the clock. But yeah, nobody else knew until like
Yeah,
3 minutes before that first playoff game.
We played halves until we got there, and even like we got 2 minutes into the game, and I looked at Jalen and I was like, Jalen, are we playing like we're playing quarters?
Mhm.
And he
Yeah, they didn't even.
he goes he looked at Gunner. He goes, wait, you put 8 on the clock? And Gunner was like, yeah, that's what we've been playing here. I was like, what do you mean?
That's wild.
That literally
2 minutes into the game.
I know it's like it's like a minute detail, but that completely changes your game plan for things like
It does.
to
It
an
does.
extent because now instead of waiting like oh they got the tip, now we get the ball in the second half. Now we don't get the ball first in the second half unless there's a jump ball.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a completely different game, different mindset, different pace.
It's not a big deal. It's not a super big deal, but like it would have been nice to know that prior to 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's at least you know what you're expecting now, though, going into the championship.
Yeah. No, I agree. How do you think your guys' season went? What were like did you think you guys should have I mean, I feel like you knowing you think you should have beat the Cherries in the playoffs. So,
Oh yeah, they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves, and it's so hard to watch that video back because I don't know if you kept up with my team this season. Draft night, I think I had the worst team drafted in ProRec history, bro. Like that team was horrible. And
I had basically the same team from last session.
yeah, I saw it, and then you're back in the finals, which fuck you for that. But no, I had Kobe Gusweiler, which I don't know if you know anything about him. Dude's a head case. Kobe Gusweiler, Chad Moore. Who else did I have that I traded? I had basically all guards. I had too many personalities, too many guys who's oh, I want to go score. Oh, I had BMAC draft night too. I had to trade him as well. Um, yeah, so we started the
What team
season
did he end up
0
on?
and I traded. He never even like put on a claws jersey. Dude texted me draft night, BMAC did, and he was like, "Oh, I want to, I averaged 13 a game last season, and I don't. You have too many guards for me to average 20 points a game this season." So I'm like, if you're thinking like that, like you can get the hell
Wait,
out of
that's
here.
what
So
he
I
said? He said
yeah,
that's
he told
wild.
me he's like I don't think I'll be able to average 20 a game on your team, so I don't really think I'll fit in. Trade me. And he literally draft night, like 2 hours after I drafted him. So I traded him to the Citrus. He was shooting about 80% of the whole team shots there. So they traded him to the Cherries. And Mike traded a guy who had like 1 point the entire season for BMAC, who was the leading scorer in our conference at that point in time, which still doesn't make sense to me, but doesn't matter for my team. So, anyways, we started 0-3. I traded BMAC, I traded Kobe Gusweiler to the Pack for their first rounder, which I'm not sure why Josh did that. I don't know if he didn't like Kevin or what it was, but trading for Kevin turned our season around because we finished that season 4-1. And that only other loss we had was an overtime loss to the Swift, which we should have fucking won. So I actually thought it was going to come down between us and the Ducks
Uh-huh.
in the playoffs. I thought we were the two teams to beat. Then we go out against the Cherries and we shot like 23%
Oh
of the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Like it was
That ain't gonna win you a
a
game.
horrible, yeah, a horrible game to be a part of. I had like 4 turnovers. I couldn't. I think I had 20. Jevin had 20, and nobody else had more than like 6 on the team. We had over 10 team turnovers. It was.
Yeah, that's the recipe for letting Mike Bennett beat you.
It is. And the frustrating thing is they didn't pull away or really beat us until like 3 minutes left in the game. Like if we even played half as good as we usually do, we would have, because we beat the Cherries by 41.
Yeah, I
We
saw those. I saw that score. That was one of the only scores I seen from your guys' conference.
Yeah, we absolutely blew them out. Granted, they didn't have Mike that game, but you would think that Mitch, Matty, BMAC, and their fucking all-star starting lineup would be enough to compete. But yeah, we probably just went in too
Were they
cocky,
like?
and
Weren't
then
they like 3-5? Didn't they finish like 3-5 or something like that?
they finished 2-6, and one of their wins was a forfeit because the Force didn't have a full team. Yeah, bro, not my proudest loss in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. If you were gonna take a from the player base in the PROREC and go play in a different league, what 5 would you take?
Any guys that I wanted?
Well, what? Yeah, what? So, we'll say that you're part of this. So, like, you're going to take a team to go play in another league somewhere. What?
Okay, okay.
What? So, like, say you want to take 6, so you have a sub. So, what 5 plus you would you take?
So myself, I'd have you and Dylan Davis at the 2 guards. I'd have myself. That's 3. I'd have Jevin Dybel, Mike Bennett,
One more.
and one last one. I'd probably throw Ralph in there because I need a big, and I think Ralph's the best big in the league.
I like Ralph.
He's
That's
a
a
smart
solid.
player.
That's a solid ass squad, dude.
It is. That's you. Nobody's beating that team for sure. I'm a big fan of Dylan Davis too, man.
Me
He's why
too.
I picked the Swarm over the Energy, man.
Oh
He had me
yeah,
hyped up.
yeah.
He texted me before their first game. He's like, "I promise you." He's like, "I guarantee you we win," and they went out and won. I was like, "Oh, I'm riding the Swarm bandwagon." Then
I didn't play that game either, but
you guys still won. Oh yeah, that's when you were sick, right?
when I was dying, yeah.
Yeah. What's your 6 you're taking?
Uh,
I feel like you
so
have a different perspective because you've seen the guys in the other conference too. I only know the guys in that conference that I've played with or that were in there last season.
yeah, I know what you mean. Obviously me. I'm gonna take Dylan as well because I want to play with Dylan really, really fucking bad.
Yeah.
This is tough, dude.
It is tough. There's a lot of good players.
What fits? I'm trying to think of like how that team would pan out as well. But like I would go me, Dylan, Ralph for sure.
Ralph, yeah.
I think Mike is one of the better guys in the league, but I wouldn't take him just because. And this isn't a slight to Mike. I don't. The way Mike and I play do not go together, so we don't play well together. So I would probably go I need a big man. I would probably take Jevin. I'd probably throw you on there because I like playing with you. And
Oh shit, I made the cut.
um, I feel like I need
What's that, 5?
I need another big. I'm trying to think of the bigs in the league, dude. There's not very many. I would probably
Is
go. I would probably go. I'd probably take Josh Grissom just because I love playing with that dude.
yeah. Yeah, I actually I played with Josh one season in the what was the league before this called? It was the
LBL or whatever it was.
LBL. Yeah, in the LBL. And dude is he's a great teammate for sure.
Yeah, like I said, nothing against Mike Bennett either. I think the way that we play
Mm.
clashes.
And see, I think have you I just I don't like the way I wouldn't want to play with Mike again in the PROREC.
Correct. Maybe like open gym wise, I would let's play. But like,
Because Mike has that mentality I think that most GMs have, which is this is my team.
uh-huh.
We're gonna play around my play style. But like I think that if you were the energy GM and Mike was in the player pool and you drafted him, he'd be a completely different Mike Bennett.
I agree. I agree.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's
me and Mike.
like I said, no slight to Mike. It's just the way like when I was on the Cherries, we were success like we went to the finals, but like I also averaged like 16 a game.
Yeah, I averaged
On like
10 a game with
on
the
like
series.
10 shots.
Oh yeah, I remember me and you. We got a couple games together that season, and we shared some of the same
Then
concerns.
you got traded.
And I got traded. Dude got me in the pro reg. Tagged me with a late pick. Was like, oh yeah, you'll be a cherry for life, and
And
then
then
traded
trades
me.
you. So
But,
one of the last things I got for you. What are some positives things you like about ProRec? And then what are some negatives that like maybe this session has made a little more obvious than previous sessions?
positives, just the pro rec is full of good basketball players, and I think they do a really good job at making sure most of the guys in the league are good people as well. So it really feels like a community. It's not just a men's league. I remember in the last video that you had, Jalen said, there's a men's league here, there's semi-pro, and we're like somewhere in between.
Yeah,
I like that classification of it because it definitely feels like more than just.
it feels like more than a men's league.
It does 100%, and I think it is more than just a men's league because we had Jati Dudley. He's playing semi-pro now. Um, Left pro rec to go play semi-pro overseas, which I thought was just really cool. As he said, they were watching film of him on pro rec as well, and that's something cool to tell people about too. But I like how it feels like a community. I like the idea.
I got something to tell you about that after we get done recording.
I like the idea of how organized it is with the commentary, the stats, and all that. Obviously, didn't do the best job of keeping up with that this season. Just
I
yeah,
think
I'll talk about the.
I think the two locations made it hard.
I agree. I understand we had the
I like two conferences, but I think they should be somewhere in the same spot.
in the same gym.
Yeah.
I understand
Even if they're in different time slots. Like say it's like you like they rent a rec court for a day or something. Like if like your guys' conferences like the games are 9, 10, and 11 and then the other conferences
You're saying you guys go from like 3, 4, 5
or 5, 6, 7. So like I think it being in two places at the same time made it hard because now you physically can't live stream it because why do you get to live stream your games and the other conference doesn't? Which I don't mind. I don't mind the recording and then upload. I think the camera angle looks better and the video quality is much better doing it that way. But it's just a little bit of a negative being advertised as, hey, games are live streamed, and then you get to the season and games weren't live streamed. Which makes sense because of locations and stuff like that, which isn't a big deal. But like, you got to think like as from a business standpoint, like you got to realize what you're telling people that are paying you money to play, and then what they're actually receiving. I think one of the negatives for me this season was the fact that our time slot moved from what it was supposed to be. Like almost everyone on my team picked Perrysburg because the time slot was 5, 6, and 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first 3 weeks of the season was 11, 12, and 1, which wasn't a big deal because Jalen said that after like the first month we would switch. And then we get to when it was supposed to switch, and now our games are 9, 10, and 11, which
So it was supposed to switch from the 11 time to the 5, 6, 7,
yeah, it
and
was
they
supposed
wait
to
till
switch
9
to the
instead?
evening, and it switched to the morning because of some scheduling bullshit at the community center. But so like that was a negative because all these dudes like, and that's what happened to Damo's team. Why they couldn't play was they were expecting to play 5, 6, and 7 p.m. and it got switched to 9, 10, and 11. Well, I think that's one of the reasons Josh Williams missed a lot of games was because he goes to church, so like he was going to church or whatever he was doing at 8 o'clock and can't play because the games are at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely I admired them trying to grow and trying to do the two different locations. I think the best version of the ProRec that we have is when all 12 teams were at the same gym and we went from like 11 until 4 because you get more help, with all 4 owners being there. You get more guys being able to commentate, more guys to be able to help with the live stream, more guys who could potentially ref if a ref misses out that week.
Yeah.
Every team gets to see each other. It doesn't have to be just elite conference 9, 10, 11. It could be an elite game, Perrysburg game, elite game, so that we can all see each other play. But yeah, I think we have to go back to the old camera angle with the commentary and the live stream.
I like the new camera angle way more than the old camera angle.
But I think the biggest attraction for people not in the league, because I know a few of my guys have a lot of guys outside of the league who watch the live stream and look forward to the commentary.
No. I mean, we could live stream it, but use the
closer camera
new
angle.
camera angle, or back
Yeah,
back it up. Take the camera angle away from the table and put it like on the fourth row of the stands.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
not
how they
direct-
had season 1 camera angle. Yeah,
correct. The camera angle we had at
North
Baltimore because they didn't have that fucking skybox to record from. The like straight down angle is a terrible angle to watch basketball at.
Yeah, it's definitely a little too high up for sure.
But like you could, even if it's not live streamed, you could. But I mean, I understand the people wanting to watch it live. The problem with that is to do that, you need somewhere with internet that's good enough to stream it in 1080p. Otherwise, it's going to be compressed and look like shit.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't have the live stream, at least just throw the commentary back in.
Yeah,
there,
I think there needs to be commentary on it, but that would require. It's almost like you almost need somebody to do the scoreboard, which we have with Gunner. You need somebody to run the camera, and then you need 2 people to commentate. So I think at all times there should be 4 people at that scorers table, and I think maybe with the way stats are done now to keep it more honest, not honest, but I think the dudes. And I mean, this is just spitballing shit. I think the 2 dudes commentating should be paid to commentate, but with commentating, they also do stats.
I agree.
But I'm not talking like this dude's 3 for 9. I'm talking like we keep points, we keep assist, we keep steal, we keep the core. We keep the core 5. What points, assist, rebounds, blocks, steals.
Right.
That's all you
And
like.
I know
The shooting percentage stuff is cool. If we want to do that, the GMs can go back like we do now and do like legit full stats. But or even if the people commentating are keeping like points, assists, rebounds, that's it. That's all you're keeping. So that you're like when you're giving information during the game, you're giving accurate information. You're not like, oh, I think he has 12. Like, no,
Right.
He has 12. I've watched him score 12. He has 12 points. It's written down right here. I have 12. And then that could be posted instantly.
I feel like you could actually just do the field goal percentage too, because if you have the sheet beforehand and it just takes 2 seconds to do tallies, 2-point made, 2-point attempted, and then you can just calculate the field goal percentage at the end.
Yeah, I mean it's something that's possible, but it's just obviously more cost effective and easier to just be like, hey, GMs, do it afterwards, which wouldn't be as bad if the games were live streamed and you could watch it. Like before this session, I used to go home from the game and watch the game.
And watch it
stats
immediately?
stats would be done by Sunday, like Sunday night. Now I
Yeah.
have to wait. The game might not be uploaded until Tuesday morning. It might not be uploaded until Tuesday night. It might not be, you know what I mean? So, like, sometimes you have to wait super, super long to do stats, and then you're halfway through the week, and you're like, I don't even really want to fucking do this.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not a fan of the mid-season changes either. I think whatever we start at the beginning of the season, we got to stick with that
Yeah.
the whole time. We can't have two completely. It was almost like we had two different seasons within this season
No, we
because we
did. No, we
started.
absolutely did. Like, we had, what, this is, I said this to somebody the other day. We had 2 leagues that play for a championship game.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much how it breaks down. And it's
'Cause-
even within the leagues, like there were changes with both conference individually by like week 3, week 4, which made it feel different moving forward as well.
Yeah.
And not that I'm complaining because like we're all just there to
No.
hoop at the end of the day and get the
Yeah. No,
competition
this
in.
is just, I asked the question of what some positives and negatives were. Obviously, everything's going to have some negatives and you're going to have some feedback on stuff, but that's how businesses and stuff like this, that's a community-based company, like technically, like for real, like PROREC wouldn't exist without us hooping in the league. So,
Yeah.
I would say the opinions of the people hooping in the league kind of matter a little bit. And what should,
Yeah,
you know what I
100%.
mean? Yeah, I
So
think.
go
Go ahead.
ahead, my bad.
No. I forgot what I was gonna say.
So moving forward, you think you'll be GM long term? You think you'll stay in the league for a while? You think you're gonna take a break and come back?
It depends. I've thought about taking a break. This next session.
Mhm.
It just depends. It depends what. Obviously, I'm not gonna throw a bunch of shit out there on like to where people can listen to it. But it depends on a number of different things that we can talk about when I hit stop recording.
Okay.
I think there are a number of things that can be done to make this league even better than what it is now.
Mhm.
The question is whether or not anyone is going to listen or take advice. Like, because I'm going to be blatantly honest with people about things because that's how there's no point in sugarcoating stuff when I know people are trying to like you're trying to like let's be real, like it's a business. They're trying to make money off of a business. So
Mhm.
but I think in turn taking in my opinion taking a couple steps back is going to allow them to leap way further than what we did this year. And my thing is I think we lose what are you 6 teams in each conference?
Yeah, 6.
I think we lose 2 teams and go one location, and I think you would have way better feedback.
Better feedback, bet more guys showing up.
That's my my big thing is I think we need to lose 2 teams and go to one location. Have 2 conferences of 5, go to one location. The 1 seed gets a bye. And we're in the same boat. We just lose 2 teams. That gets rid of shit. How many people didn't show up? It's probably enough for 2
teams,
to
about
get rid of
16.
2 teams. Yeah.
So how would you go about dropping 2 teams? Like which 2 teams
Well, I mean,
are you just?
it would just depend. If people are like, if we have 2 teams in the off season or in between seasons that are like, I don't want to be GM anymore. All right, those teams are gone. Instead
That's
of trying to
solid.
find GMs for teams and then finding people that aren't like, I think being a GM should be almost something that's like you have to be voted on by like the owners to be okayed with because like we added how many teams to and they were searching for GMs until almost the draft night. Like,
Yeah, I think that you got to have guys with a certain level of basketball skill and they take the league serious to an extent. Should have to be the GMs, which I think for the most part, with the exception of a couple GMs, I think
yes,
all
I
of
agree.
us are
Yeah.
pretty much in the same boat right now.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I just think with Jalen, Josh, Mike, any of them listening right now, I just think that moving forward, there needs to be more of a honest effort to keep up with the stuff. Because like you said, like we pay a certain amount of money for the stuff that's advertised, and with the All-Star game being canceled, which is something else that they advertise in the league is being cool to get guys in. I just think this season it was kind of not done half-assed, but that the owners lost interest in taking the league serious this season. So I think moving forward, they got to have more guys help so that we can keep up with all this stuff, have the stats in, have all the commentary done. You know, if they step up and get 4, 5, 6 of us that agree to
Oh yeah,
help,
yeah, no,
then
I agree. If they were like, "Hey, will you guys like for me example, I input our conference's stats.
Mhm.
Not a big deal. It's not that hard. It's kind of tedious, but it's not hard. But like if they were like, "Hey, you guys, can you commentate 4 games?" Or, "Hey, you play 1 game that day or you commentate 4 games for 2 separate weeks. You commentate 4 of the 5 games and you don't have to pay to play."
yeah,
I'm going to commentate. Yes. That's fine.
yeah,
But like
I would
but like the
commentate
thing
every game. It
is
wasn't
like
mine.
you want me to the thing that rubs me the wrong way a lot of times, and it's one of my bigger negatives of the league is so you want me to be a GM. You asked me to be a GM. I'm a GM. I said yes. You want me to pay the same amount that everyone else is paying, but I have to go back and use my time to do the stats.
Mhm.
I have to do the draft and stuff that comes with like I don't know, it's like GM responsibilities, but like I'm paying you to do these responsibilities. Like I'm paying you to do this. Um and in my case, like I you want me to put in stats, which is fine, I'll help. Not a big deal. But like to an extent, I need to be, in my opinion, compensated for my time. Like I know it's a rec
Uh,
league and I know you guys are trying to make money and it makes sense, but like that I feel like a lot of times when people are like, I don't want to be a GM anymore, it's because they were and you want me to run a Twitter account.
yeah,
Um, I think a lot of people that were GMs that don't want to be GMs anymore are like, dude, this is way too much work for me to pay $80. I'm just gonna be
mhm,
a player and not have to do any of this and pay you money and just come hoop. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't have to do any of this other shit because it's the same price for me to just play.
mhm. Yeah. I think if you do have that where GMs don't have to pay or they're compensated, and I know with the dude Gunner who runs the shot at game clock, he gets, I think $10 a game or whatever it is. If you sat one of the GMs down, first of all, I agree that GMs, I think that we shouldn't have to pay the $80. Like it's at the end of the day, is it a huge deal? Not
But
really.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it needs to be like the GMs need to be accepted by the owners because then that
Mm,
makes more sense. Like, no, we don't want just run some random dude who asked to be a GM so he doesn't have to pay. Like, no, we have
right.
to ask you and hey, will you be a GM for this team? You don't have to pay. Here's what you have to do.
Right. And then
Or
you
here,
won't
you
have
have
any
to
of that
pay
GM
or
turnover.
you pay $25 instead of paying 80 and you don't have,
Mhm.
like yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And you won't have the GM turnover. You'll have guys taking it a lot more serious. You'll have stats turned in, Tuesday night, Tuesday morning, whenever, like we agreed to before the season. And then even if you are going to charge the GMs, come to us and be like, hey, every game you commentate, we'll give you $10 a game. You know what I mean? Like I would sit down, I'd play my game, and then I commentate the other 7 or 5, however
Yeah, yeah,
other
yeah.
many games there are.
Yeah.
I would do them all for the whole entire season, and that takes care of that situation right there. Like they just got to ask a few guys for more help, and the league will be, I think, run perfect, run a
I
lot more
agree. The
smooth.
only thing that needs to be done is like you need to ask for help and offer something in return instead of
Yeah,
asking for help and being like, "No, we can't do any of that."
because then you'll have a lot more guys motivated and passionate about
Yeah.
growing the league and the betterment of the community.
Like I said numerous times, this isn't talking shit or slighting anything about the owners of the pro rec thing.
And
It's just like from my background, my opinion on things that could be, and obviously your opinion as well on things that could help. Like, yeah, the league might not make 800 more dollars because the GMs aren't running. But say in next year, after they see everyone, the people that are hesitant to play because of like what's going on a little bit are like, hey, oh my God, look how smooth that was. Now instead of having 10 enough players for 10 teams, you have enough players for 16 teams
right.
because these people want to play now because they see like the production quality of stuff. It's more than just um, YouTube videos of the games. There's interviews that are on the YouTube channel. There's this and that's on the YouTube channel, all of which I've wanted to do, but without like I'm not gonna do. I would do that. Like this kind of stuff could go on the pro rec. This could be a pro rec interview thing. It could go on the PROREC YouTube channel, but I'm not spending an hour and 20 minutes of my time to record it and then an hour to edit it for free.
Yeah, no, it's just that shouldn't even be an option, honestly. But I mean, Mike seems like he's been pretty open to the idea of having a couple more of us help and doing some stuff for us. So I mean, hopefully, when the season wraps up, they contact some of us and.
But that's what I mean. Like if we're say even we keep 2 different locations, right? Say and they ask me to do YouTube content for the league. If you're paying me, or like if I'm playing for free and you're giving me a little bit extra money, I am willing to play my game. Say the Perrysburg Conference plays at night. I am willing to get up and come to Van Buren to make content for the YouTube channel, drive home, and then go play my game. Like, that's different because, like, I'm not wasting my time and my money to come here because you're compensating me to do so. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I think stuff like that would help the league grow because people are going to, instead of you get 6 YouTube videos a week in their games. And instead of that, you get every Wednesday another video releases. Every other Wednesday it's an interview like this, like a 30-minute interview, a PROREC interview. And then every other Wednesday it's like a 30-minute or like a 15-20-minute little like highlight strip of one of the game or the whatever highlighted game they pick for that week.
Yeah, game of the week. And I don't know if you remember when they used to, in the middle of the game at halftime, they'd pull guys in the game, do a quick interview for the social media, the Instagram page. Going back to all that stuff makes the league 3-4 times better. And like you said, it gets more guys interested.
It gets people interested, and it gets more viewers. Like, oh, this like people that follow the account on Instagram. Oh, PROREC just went live. What are they doing? Oh, they're playing games right now. It's on YouTube. Let me go look at them. It pulls traffic in because you're live on more places, but it's just I think the problem was that people didn't want to be there all day on a Sunday. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's your business that you are running. Like you can't.
Yeah, you either. And again, I just want to say, like, reiterate, no slight to
no.
The others, what they've been doing.
It's just a conversation. And Jalen and I have had not super in-depth conversation like this, but like there was a bit of stuff that wasn't recorded that we talked about of things, but like it's.
Yeah, I mean they've done an amazing job, building this league, especially from how it used to just be open gym up to what it is now.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's crazy.
let some more people in and help you to take that next step to building the league, get more guys in there, and you'll get more revenue too. So.
Yeah, you might have to take a year where you get a little less to get a significant amount more the next couple.
Yeah, exactly. And with us saying years, it's not even years. We probably get 2-3 seasons in 1 year. So I mean,
it's 3 months. Like,
by the end of the year, it'll be the same boat you already in, and then by next year you'll be making maybe double what you were before. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, how things progress forward. I think there's an extreme amount of potential in the league.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else that we need to talk about on recorded stuff. If you don't have anything you want to talk about.
Yeah, no, I think we touched on everything good.
All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you letting me record an interview with you, and I mean.
Of course, bro. Thanks for having me, man. Anytime you need me, just reach out.
I appreciate you, big dog.
Always, man. Have a good week. Be safe, bro. I'll text you later here today.
You too. Later, brother.